This is the labor type setup screen. The items in here will be used to fill out a sales order. On a sales order, there's a line that's called a labor line, and there's a drop-down list. And the things in that drop-down list, this is where you set them up. You can modify one of these by just clicking on the one that you want to modify, and when you change something, there will be a save button come up down here in the bottom right. Whatever I change on here, as long as I just hit save, it will go ahead and it will save the new item in there. If you want to create a new one, you just hit the new button right here, and when you do that, it blanks everything out. So I could do something like carpet custom. So that would be a labor type for custom carpet. I select the unit. Let's go for square yards. Then we have these two lines that work together, the retail line and the cost line. Retail would be the default price that's going to come up when you're filling out a sales order to charge to the customer. The cost is the default amount that the installer will get when you put this labor type on a line on a sales order. Let's just put in here $4. You can leave it 0 too. If you're charging labor and pad and carpet all together, you could just leave that to be zeros, but you do have the option to fill it out. And then this cost, you'll notice that there's 5 of them here. That means that we have the ability to charge 5 different costs to automatically come up or attach these different costs to an installer, a different installer. So on the employee screen, there's a place over there where you can say, I want this installer to always have cost level 1. And if you do that, then everything in this column will be the prices that will come up for that installer every time that you put his name next to a labor item on a sales invoice when you're costing things out. On this column right here, you could have 5 installers attached to that column. You could have 3 attached to this column, 1 to this column, or, all 10 or whatever you have could be on level 0. So that's kind of how this works. So I could just fill in cost 1 or level 0 if I just wanted to do that. And so let's just put a 3 there. And then if I wanted a 2 on that. So that's just how I do it. And then I go ahead and save it, and it will add that new item into the list. And you can see there's Carpet Custom right there. That is how this list works. This export button, that's if you want to export your labor items out of the system into a CSV file. You can push that button, and then some estimating systems use that, or you can modify your labor types outside of the system and then re-import them back into the system. So that's kind of how this works. And that's it for labor types.